Hey everyone, Pat Mayo here from the Pat Mayo Experience. Subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience, by the way, on Mayo Media Network YouTube channels for the full-length shows. But today, my 2020 CJ Cup DraftKings Picks and quick preview. Going to run through everything. So let's start with the course, the field, and the rules. Shadow Creek is the course for this year's CJ Cup. It's moved from 9 Bridges in South Korea. Obviously, can't be going over to South Korea, then coming back. So it's in Vegas this time around. So it's the first time we've seen Shadow Creek at an event on the PGA Tour. Well, it's the second time ever. The first one was the match between Tiger and Phil from 2 years ago. That was the first time we saw Shadow Creek. So there's not a lot of data to pull from on any of this, but it is playing over 7,500 yards. It is a par 72 on bent grass green. So any course history that you're looking for from the CJ Cup, not from this course. So don't look at that whatsoever. This field, incredibly strong. Like I mentioned, 78 players, 10 of them are like absolute jabronis from tours around the world, but the names at the top, they are pretty good. Dustin Johnson and Tony Finau have withdrawn with COVID-19 positive tests. They should be back in time for the Masters. So now we're looking at Rahm, Thomas, Rory, Xander, and Matthew Wolff as the very top-end guys. I'm playing very limited lineups this week and really concentrating my course, so I really like Justin Thomas at 10-8 amongst the big players. If I had to pick two, Jon Rahm would be second. Then I'm just dropping down into the $9,000 region. It's headed by Cantlay. Brooks is back for the first time in ages, but I'm just going to go with my guy that I go with every single week, Colin Morikawa. Here's the thing with Morikawa. Yes, he's going to be popular, and you do want to find ways to differentiate your lineups this week, but you don't need to do it every single spot. And frankly, in a limited field with only so many good players, that everyone at the top is going to be highly owned. The three that aren't are going to be Brooks, Hatton, and Fleetwood. Of those guys, I like Fleetwood. One of the things that people fall into a trap of is using the optimizers and projections. And the one thing that they don't do well is factor in tours from around the world. So if you just took Tommy Fleetwood's stats on the PGA Tour, they're terrible. But he's been overseas the last 2 weeks. Played the Scottish Open, where he came in second. Then he played the BMW Championship, or BMW PGA Championship, the big Euro event. The Euro players where Tyrrell Hatton just won. Fleetwood came in 13th. The driving has been spectacular. The iron play has been very quality, much better than what we've seen from him on the PGA Tour since the restart. So he's flying completely under the radar. No one is going to use him. So in that range, Morikawa and Tommy Fleetwood. The entire 8K range, not really a fan of it. I'm not going to lie to you. Sung Jae Im is coming up as the most popular of the plays, but the way that I'm building this week, probably 3 from 9K and above, and then below $8,000. There's good plays from here. Listen, Scheffler and Im, both fantastic plays, just not for me. If you want to find the 2 pivot plays, it's probably Matthew Fitzpatrick and Jason Day. No one's really using them in their lineups, but probably not going to go for that. I'm just going to drop below the $8,000 threshold. You have Gary Woodland. You have Shane Lowry. 2 names that I'm just kind of iffy on. I'd much rather go with Joaquin Niemann at $7,500 as my mid-tier point, then drop all the way down to the bottom of the $7,000 area and just take Russell Henley and Jason Kokrak at $71,000 and $7,000. But the main construction of my team is actually going to be in the $6,000 region, trying to mix and match some of these guys. So there's a lot of decent names that you can come to on all of this. But when we really try to look at it, Corey Connors is a decent play at $6,900. After that, I really like Keegan Bradley at $6,500. I like Dylan Fratelli at $6,600, and then Alonto Griffin at $6,300 when you're trying to round out your team. Someone like Ryan Palmer and Kevin Na can get really hot. I think what you really want to do in terms of your lineup construction this week, unless you want to go balance and take those 8K guys, which is not really my strategy, is pile up on the 3 guys above 9,000 and really tighten up that core. So if you play like 3 lineups, try to use like 4 or 5 guys from 9,000, mix and match them together, and then take like 6 guys from the $6,000 level and just kind of shuffle them through your lineups. You know these guys are $6,000 for a reason in a top-heavy field like this. One of the big guys is like probably going to win. These guys from the bottom are not going to win. So who can pile up a bunch of birdies? That's what I'm looking for. That's why I like Keegan. He's going to have birdie opportunities. Will he ever make a putt? I mean, probably not. He's Keegan Bradley. Maybe this is the week he finds his putter at last. So that can provide him a lot of value in terms of DraftKings scoring versus where he actually finishes in the field. Once again, download the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast or find the video versions up on Mayo Media Network. Right now, my cheat sheet is up on dkplaybook.com, so I suggest everyone go check that out. Those were the 2020 CJ Cup DraftKings picks. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.